Hello YouTube, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode, and I'm filming this one way early. This is like a week in advance, well, almost a week and a half in advance, because I got to travel for work, and I'm not going to be able to basically film for a while. So I've filmed a bunch of videos. By the time you see this video, I will have been arriving home the night before. Whatever. Not like you guys need to know the timeline of all this stuff. But whatever I find between now and, of course, if this video airs, isn't going to be on this video. So this is a good time to show you some import die-casts that I've been just kind of hanging on to for the last couple of weeks and just haven't had the chance to really show because other things have come up, such as my last couple episodes, you know, where I've had some car show hauls, my Fox Valley Diecast meet haul, and that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're just going to go over some pretty cool things that I've had for a little while here. So starting with this right here, not diecast, but pretty cool, Lamborghini. My brother-in-law him and his wife went to Italy and visited the Lamborghini factory, and they brought me back a little souvenir. These are fridge magnets, Lamborghini fridge magnets from the Lamborghini factory. They are legitimately Lamborghini licensed, as you see that holographic sticker there. And here they are. They're actually like stuck to here with like some sort of glue. Anyway, I'm gonna peel them off. So you got that guy, pretty neat. You got that guy, pretty cool. And this guy, cool. So those are gonna go in my fridge. Probably my fridge down here in the man cave because yeah, pretty awesome. So thanks a lot to my brother-in-law for hooking those up, getting me something from the Lamborghini Museum. Also got to see a bunch of really cool pictures that he took of cars there. I don't know, no, not the museum, sorry, a factory. Anyway, they got to visit, take the tour, and all that good stuff. So really, really cool. All right, so there's that. And then other stuff, this is all going to be import diecast. So I've got this, the Tomica Basic. And of course, we're going to look at all of these items close up in the second half of the video. So we've got this guy here, a Tomica Basic, Ford GT concept car, new for 2017. So I got another Tomica Basic. Now I've got a few of those cars, and they don't look great in pictures. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like when you see those in pictures, like for sale or whatever, they just don't look very good. But then when you get them in your hand, I don't know, something about them. They're very solidly made, and they actually do look pretty decent. All right, so those, I got 3 Konami. This one right here, Nissan Fairlady Z. 432. I already had this one in white. These are sealed, by the way, which is pretty cool. So I picked up that one. I picked up this one, which I did not have in yellow. So let's do this here. See if we can adjust the lighting a little bit. So this one in yellow, didn't have it. So that's cool. I'm actually probably just going to open up both of these. I just want to make sure that this one looks okay. So, or maybe I'll keep it sealed. I'm not really sure. Probably should just keep that sealed. And then this one right here, this is really cool. The Nissan Violet HT SSS KP 710 1973. This thing is a cool casting. I did not have it in a Konami. I am excited to take a look. If you're not familiar with what Konami is, yes, it is the same company, you know, that did the up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start, Konami code. Video game maker. They made a line of 1/64 scale diecast back in the day. I think they have like 7 series of it, so there's quite a bit out there. They're all Japanese cars, but they're done really well. They've got suspension, metal body, plastic base, very highly detailed lens details and stuff like that. So really, really cool. So we're going to open up those and take a look at those. I'll probably just get the other white one out that I had so I can leave that other one sealed up. And then I got a couple of Tomica Premium. So we got a Tomica Basic over there. And then we got some Tomica Premium. Here we go. Lamborghini licensing. Hologram. And so this is the Lamborghini Joda SVR. This came out a while ago. I just didn't have it, and I picked it up. I picked this up from HobbyLink Japan. Again, shout out to Kyle Solar for turning me on to that website. Very, very cool for getting some Tomica cars, especially the basic stuff. The basics in these, they have them really inexpensive on that website. And you can kind of pull stuff together and get it all shipped together, and the shipping's very reasonable, all of that. So if you are in the US and you want to collect these more basic Tomicas and some Tomica Limited Vintage at a more of a budget, non-eBay price, that's who to go to. All right, little tip. And then I got this one, the Lancia Stratus HF Rally. Picked up that one too. So the Tomica Premiums are cool. They're kind of like, I don't know, in between an adult collectible and a toy. They're built kind of like a toy. They're very, very rugged. Most of them, I think they all have plastic wheels, plastic base, metal body, but they're all very, very rugged, very, very well detailed. And, you know, we'll take a look at those in the second segment and talk about them more. And then I got two Tomica Limited Vintage. They had a sale on their website, and I got these like really, 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 really cheap for Tomica Limited Vintage. I think I paid like, I want to say like $10 a piece, which is very cheap for Tomica Limited Vintage. So I just went for the cars that were on sale. This one and ones that I didn't have. So this one is a Nissan Leopard Ultima Turbo. Okay, in white. Of course, we're going to open that up. That is LVN 119B. So we'll open that up and check that out in the next segment. And the LVN 145C Honda Prelude XX. So there, that is Honda Prelude. It looks almost brown. I think it's actually black. We'll find out when we take a closer look. All right, and then lastly, for some import diecast, I actually got this in the mail today. Then we got Ferrari licensing. So this one is from Ferrari Mini Car Collection 4. It is a Kyosho. And it's going to be hard to show you because we're going to have to put it together. That's how they get around that 1/64 scale car licensing. This is a model kit, guys. So we're going to have to put it together, but you can kind of tell it's a Testarossa. It's the 512 Testarossa. I already have the other 512 version, I think the F512M or something like that from Kyosho. This is a different casting. This is from Ferrari Mini Collection 4. So the other one I got, I don't remember what collection it's from, but I have it in silver and I have it in yellow. Very cool though, and I think I'm gonna grab one of those out so we can just take a look at how it compares to this one. So we'll still have a lot of content, even though we only have 9 or so cars here to take a look at in the second segment. It's gonna be a long video because we're gonna probably spend some time talking about the cars. So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's go ahead, flip this camera around and check out some very, very premium, very cool diecast, import diecast in the second segment of this video, nice and up close. Okay, so let's start this second half of the video by going, I guess, up the ladder of Tomica quality, starting with this basic Tomica car, which, by the way, looks like some basic Tomica is going to be coming to the US and going to be sold at Walmart. That is super interesting. I don't know. Hopefully they do well. And maybe it doesn't matter if they do well or not as far as for the premium stuff, but wouldn't it be cool to start getting more premium Tomica to Walmarts? You're never going to get Tomica Limited Vintage at Walmart. I'm sorry. It's never going to happen. I'm just tearing open this box here. It's just never going to happen because there's no way. You look at a Walmart aisle, it's not going to happen. But it would be cool to see more hobby dealers in the U.S. maybe get them or something like that. Just peeling off this plastic. All right, so Ford GT Concept. This was a new model for 2017. Just taking a look around the box here to see if there's anything of note. So official Ford licensed product. So these come in a little cardboard box, and then they come in a little baggie in the box. The baggie is not sealed. And there it is. It looks pretty good. Look at that. The flying buttress. It's opened all the way through. Not bad. The biggest argument against these cars is going to be the wheels. So a lot of people don't like these wheels. I don't mind them on some vehicles. I think they look pretty good on this one. They all typically will have suspension. They typically will have a plastic base. It looks like they're made in Vietnam. Yes, this one is. Pretty basic base on it, but these are actually pretty cool. So I hate to say this, but I think I'm going to have to get the Ferraris. There are Ferrari basic ones that have come out somewhat recently, and I think I'm going to have to get them. I'm just becoming, each time I get one of these cars, I just become more of a Tomica Basic fan. Like I said, in pictures, for some reason, and I don't know what exactly it is, they look odd and like out of proportion and stuff like that. When you see them sometimes in pictures, and I mean pictures not as pictures that like I take of them, but pictures that you see of them. I don't know, I guess is being advertised for sale on websites where you can order them or on eBay or whatever. They just don't seem to look all that great. But then you get them in person, and for a basic car, yeah, at least the ones I've gotten so far, I like them. So this is pretty cool. Awesome. So now I have a Lambo. I've got a Ford GT. I got a Dodge Viper. I think I got another Lambo. And then I also have like a Land Cruiser Toyota. So I've got a few in my collection now. And when they hit Walmart in the area, I probably will get them and show them to you. All right, so next is going to be Tomica Premium. And let's open up. I think this is an older release. Let's do an older release first. I started to try to rip apart this cellophane here. Official Lancia product. It's got the official licensing. So retail price, it's kind of hard to talk about what the retail price is of these because it really depends on, it seems to depend on really who you get them from, because there is no U.S. retail on these. But if you get them from like sites like Hobby Link Japan, stuff like that, they're really not that expensive. These are probably like $6 or so a piece, $6 or $7, depending on the model. And then the basic ones are about like $3 each. So these are about double the price of a basic one, as far as I know. Okay. So here it is, Lancia. Do we want to take a look around the box real quick? Number 19 in the lineup. Premium Stratus Rally. I think this was on sale there too. They were blowing this one out, so I got it. Here's the other thing you'll notice about scale. So scale on this one is a 1/58 scale, so it is a little bit large for the car that it is. That seems to be typical of these Tomica Premium cars. A lot of them are a little bit large in scale. So in spite of them having plastic wheels, they have some pretty cool looking plastic wheels. The body is very, very solid metal. I think it looks pretty awesome, actually. Again, like the other thing with these is like there never seems to be any quality issues. There's the base. The base is plastic. It seems like a very heavy duty, tough plastic though, thick plastic. And I'm going to say it looks pretty cool. It's not the most attractive car in the world, but I think it's a good example of this car to have in the collection. It's a nice one to add to the Tomica Premium collection. You know, some of you may not like this stuff. Some of you Hot Wheels fans that are die-hard Hot Wheels, it tends to... I almost want to say that this premium diecast stuff is a bit of an acquired taste. At first glance, you might think they're too expensive for what they are. And I'm just opening, right now I'm opening the Jodo while we're talking about this as you look at the Lancia. You may think they're too expensive and stuff like that, especially if you start when you collect mainline cars. And people collect for different reasons, and I get that. Some people collect for, I guess, resale value. And to be honest with you, it seems that no matter what you collect in diecast, there is a fairly decent resale value, especially if it is a real car. It really doesn't necessarily matter what brand it is. Now, I know Hot Wheels, there's going to be certain cars that you could turn an instant profit on, such as super treasure hunts if you find them in a store and all that stuff. So there is some resale hype around that and some new castings when they first come out and all that. But these cars tend to hold their value. So it may not go up in value. Some may go up in value, but it's not going to be like Hot Wheels. But I collect because I love looking at cars. So here it is, Lamborghini Mirajoda SVR, and it doesn't really matter to me how rare they are. This is actually really awesome. It doesn't really matter necessarily how rare they are. I just really like looking at them, and I really like high quality, real looking models. And you guys probably understand that from watching my channel. I'm sure that you know what I like. If you're new to the channel, I bounce all over the place. I like my Hot Wheels. I like my Matchbox. I like all the domestic brands, really. I mean, even M2 does something that I enjoy every once in a while. This one's got an opening engine compartment, which is pretty awesome. That opens and shuts really well. Again, we get plastic wheels. No suspension on this model, probably because of the opening engine compartment. There's the plastic base, and this is definitely a welcome collection or welcome addition to my Lamborghini diecast collection. You get lens details up there for the headlights. That's very nice. So this is actually very typical of current Tomica Premium, where they're going to have some sort of opening feature. A lot of them have opening features, either opening doors and opening hatch or whatever. Some of them have pop-up headlights, which we're going to look at one model in a moment here, the Ferrari Testarossa, when we break up that Kyosho. And I think this looks pretty awesome. It's out of scale for 1/64. It's too large, but it looks good. It looks very good. I like it quite a bit. Oh, it's even got those inserted details. No, just painted details on the back. But very cool. All right, so next up we're going to do is Tomica Limited Vintage. We'll start with this right here, LVN 119B. Nissan Leopard Ultima Turbo. This one's interesting. You might have noticed right here, this does come with a separate piece. Now, some TLV models do come with separate pieces. That would be my one gripe about TLV. I really don't like that they come with a separate piece that you can attach, because I'm just never going to have the guts to go ahead and glue something to one of these models. But here it is. There's that little front piece, little front lip that would go right there. And the car is going to look just fine without it. So it's an option to have to do that. Some of them come with the side mirrors that you have to glue on. I just don't know. So I'm going to put this thing back. If I ever do decide to do it, I'll show you it on camera maybe. But here is your Tomica Limited Vintage. So if you're not familiar with this brand, which if you watch my channel you probably are, this is another step up from the premium brand. These are 1/64 scale. As far as I know, they are true 1/64 scale. I'm trying to see if it says that anywhere. Yeah, it does say scale 1/64 right there. So these are supposed to be true 1/64 scale. They're absolutely beautifully done. They're all metal. The majority of them are all metal. Some of the older ones have plastic bases. This one has a metal base. It's painted black. They have rubber tires. Of course, prototypical wheels. Done in very high quality. They have suspension. They always roll really, really nice. They typically always are going to have lens inserted headlights as well as taillights. Look at how small the details are on there. The little printing Ultima there, you can see. Just super cool. So the mirrors are already attached on this one, which is great. But you do, again, have the option of adding that front little skirt there in black, which I don't think I'm going to do. That would be the one, if to do anything, it'd be a lot easier to do that than side mirrors, that's for sure. And look at how clear the glass is on this. Can you see that? See right into the interior, which has a lot of molded detail. That steering wheel in there. That's a pretty cool car. To be 100% honest, I probably wouldn't have picked this particular model up if it wasn't so cheap. It's not my favorite Tomica Limited Vintage in my collection currently, but at the price, I just couldn't pass it up, and I will add it to the collection, which is steadily growing. I think I'm at 31 Tomica Limited Vintage cars now, so it goes up kind of fast. All right, so here's this one. Honda Prelude XX. Now this one has mirrors that you have the option of attaching. And again, I mean, this one might be not that hard to do, the mirrors, because it looks like there's actually like a guide as to where they go, or at least a spot where they probably fit really nice. I don't know if I'd trust my steady hands to do that, but here's the mirrors. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I think I'm just going to leave the mirrors off. Now, they don't do this all the time. There's not always optional parts, but sometimes there is. Oh, yeah, and the way these are packaged is absolutely fantastic, by the way, that you can put the car back in this bubble and put the bubble back in the box. I end up displaying them anyway, so I'll only have to use that if I decide to store them or move them. But it's a great option to have. I love the box idea. Big fan of boxed diecast. All right. This thing's pretty cool. It's hard to tell what color it is. It is black. I think it's like a sparkly black. It almost looks brown on the packaging, but it's not brown. So again, we got suspension. It's got a tinted sunroof. Other than that, though, the windows are very clear. It's got a gray interior. Metal base. Little tiny details up here in the front where you get little lensed indicator lights. This one would have had pop-up headlights. And very, very tiny details here on the back of the car. It might have looked better if I would have got one in a lighter color. You might be able to see those details a little bit better. But this thing is still pretty cool. It's still a really cool car. So, I'm not going to lie, these cars can get really expensive. They really can if you want all of them. And that's why it's just impossible, really, for me, anyway, to get all of them. And to try to go after all of them like I have done with Autoworld. And basically, I've done that with Autoworld and got, because one of these cars can cost as much as an Ultra Red. And some of them will cost a lot more, depending on the casting. I need a good example of the Porsche that they put out, but that's an expensive model. Anyway, this is pretty cool, and I'm glad to add it to the Tomica Limited Vintage collection. This is my 31st Tomica Limited Vintage, so I'm getting up there in those. All right, next, let's switch gears a little bit to Konami. Here's Konami. So these, very easily opened, are not that far off from a Tomica Limited Vintage. There's some key differences, but they're not that far off. I believe they are pretty close to true 1/64 scale. And Tomica Limited Vintage, I think, is just putting out a Nissan Violet. I don't know if it's the first version of it they ever put out, but they are putting out basically this same car. I did not pre-order it. I might end up getting it after the fact because I don't think the pre-order is like sold out. So I might end up getting it anyway. And it would be a cool comparison to this. This is a pretty cool looking car. So here it is. Konami's also have suspension. They also have rubber tires. They have plastic bases, very nice and thick, high quality plastic. They have inserted bumpers and stuff. Looks a little bit cheaper than the Tomica Limited Vintage, but they do have the insert stuff. So inserted taillights, very small printing on them. Now some of these castings are better than others. There's not as much consistency with this brand, I would say. But I think this one's a winner. I think it's pretty cool, and I'm happy to have an example of it for sure. There's your Nissan Violet. What do you guys think about this one in green? I don't know what the other color is. I think the other color this was available in was like a brown. The interior looks really good too, as in the seats are like tan and stuff like that. The dashboard is, looks like it's, I don't know if that's black or brown. I think it's actually brown, including like the steering wheel. It's kind of hard to see because it's so dark. I love the wheels on it though too. Really cool. Really cool. You know, a little paint bubbling back here, as you can see. Nothing too bad. And it rolls very good. All right. So that's that one. Sticking with Nissan. We'll take a look at the Nissan Fairlady Z 432 S30, 1969. And we're going to open up this one too. So these come in just a plastic bubble. These plastic bubbles did originally come in boxes. I don't know where the boxes went for these, but they are screwed with one screw to the base, which is very typical. I'm just going to put that back in there. And here is your Nissan Fairlady Z. I think they did a fair job on this car. You do get lens detail again for the taillights. The wheels are blacked out. Separate bumper piece. Lens detail for the headlights. So I also had this in white. Here it is in white. I think I probably prefer it in white over the yellow, but I had to have both. Those make a nice pair. And then I brought out, just for giggles, the M2, because this is the closest thing, I guess, to this Konami that I would have in my collection previous. So here's the M2 basic version of the Fairlady Z. Here it is. This one, of course, has an opening hood. If I can get it open. Opening hood's not much to write home about, though. That engine detail is, to me, frankly awful. I don't think it looks good at all. It looks just strange, like some weird block of stuff in there. But yeah, these are basically, I think, the identical car. They both say 432, 432. So these are an identical model. And who do you think did it better just by looking at these? Now, I'm going to guess the Konami might be closer to 1/64 scale, and the M2 might be a little big. That's hard to say, though, for certain. You can tell that the M2 is a bit longer, and the Konami is a little bit wider. It's hard to say which one's closer to the right scale. I know this one's, as far as the taillights and stuff go, this one looks a lot cleaner. This one's also got that weird little dual tailpipe thing, and the M2 does not sport that at all. I don't know, interesting. I think the Konami looks a little bit better now that I'm looking at them both close up. I don't know, it's hard to tell. M2 did do a pretty good job on this casting, though, I must say. I definitely don't collect all of them, but I've got a few examples, and I like them all. So there you go. Let me know what you think is better, the M2 or the Konami, when it comes to this Z. And you aficionados that know a lot, I do like that the steering wheel is a separate color on this. That's cool. And those of you that may know a little bit more about this car, maybe could tell me better what they think, who they think did a better job. Now, I know this one's got mirrors on the hood, too. I don't care really about that, though. They look kind of like big and out of place, actually, on this car. So let me know what you think. All right, so there's the Z's. That was all the Konami. Now, bear with me. We are going to assemble this Ferrari. So this is a model kit from Kyosho of this Ferrari Testarossa. Do you guys really want to watch me assemble this? You can, I guess. If it gets too obnoxious here, I'll just fast forward or I'll cut this out. There you go. That's how it comes. Front, rear, seats, screws. Looks like we got 3 screws to contend with. We got a scissors. Oop, the seats fell right into where they were supposed to be. That's cool. We'll go ahead and put on the wheels real quick. Let's see how fast we can do this. Let's see how fast we can put together this Testarossa model. Love the wheels on this car. Looking good. I imagine you want to put these wheels on first. Okay, there's the front set. I don't want to lose those screws. Oh, one of these screws just screws it to the base, which we're not going to do that. So, back wheels are a little bit wider. You really get a feel for how soft the rubber tires are. They're actually quite soft. There we go. And so 2 screws. These 2 screws are the same size, it appears. So you don't have to worry anything about that. Now, the way that this should just come off of the base here. There we go. And then the seats will get put in through the bottom. And they should just kind of snap in. There they go. And then we need to put wheels in, basically. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole build right here. Getting these wheels lined up as you snap the interior onto it. Looks like we did a pretty good job. We got a rolling chassis here. Sometimes you got to monkey with these a little bit to get them 100% correct. This one looks like we're going to get her right on the first shot. Let's see here. A little bit of, there we go. Snaps in there tight. Looks like we're in there tight. And we're going to go ahead and put the screws in. Hopefully you guys find this somewhat enjoyable. I don't think I'm going to cut it. I want them snug, but not over tightened. Again, if we have to make adjustments later on, I can do it later on. There you go, guys. Ferrari Testarossa. It looks good. It looks real good. Do you want to know what the rest of the cars were in this series? Here you go. Here's a quick look. FXX, F40 Competition, which I need to get one of those for sure, and the FXX I want. Actually, there's quite a few on here I would not mind having. Pretty awesome. So, cool to get that. Shout out to my favorite eBayer. I think that's where I got that from. So it came with a little origami crane as usual. Thank you so much, bud. Haven't had any issues with his cars basically at all. So, and the shipping seems to be somewhat quick from Japan. So this car looks great. I am so glad to have this version of the Testarossa. The other version of it would be this one right here. Here's the other one. This is the one that did not have flip-up headlights. Had a little bit different face to it. Had like a smiley face grille. I don't like this one as much. It's still a pretty cool car. So this is a Kyosho as well. The wheels are kind of crazy on it and stuff and all that. This was a newer version of the Testarossa, and Hot Wheels actually did both versions of this car. They did that one and that one. And Tomica Limited Vintage is coming out with, I believe, both versions of the car. Or at least 2 different versions of the Testarossa. This thing looks awesome. I am so glad to have it, and so glad to get it in red, too. So, it's got insert detail. Ooh, we got a little issue with the back there. I didn't put it together right. Alright, well, I'll have to fix that off camera. That will be fixable, though. Whoopsie. That's going to bug me, though. Do I have to fix it right now? I'll fix it off camera. Alright, so, anyway, there's that. It looks great. Looks awesome. I just got to get the back end in correctly, which I will do quickly when I'm done with the video. Just to compare it, here's a Tomica Premium Ferrari Testarossa I was shown in a previous video. This is just an all fun and games one. Again, just another showcase of Tomica Premium and the job that's done here. Suspension, plastic tires, and the real cool thing about this one is pop-up headlights. Come on, that's really neat. Alright, you guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Highlight of the video for me is definitely actually this Testarossa. And then the Tomica Limited Vintage stuff's pretty cool too, but this thing just really sings to me. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Please check out my playlist. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Really appreciate it. And have yourself a good day.